Lately, Chris Shipp, a friend in the media of Harry and Meghan, revealed that King Charles hasn't yet met Lily, the little girl believed to be their daughter. When King Charles suggested they bring both kids to meet the royal family in Britain, Meghan insisted on an apology from them first. That raised some eyebrows. Let's explore this further. Hello, friends, welcome to the King YouTube channel. According to sources, Meghan has always claimed that Lily, their second child, did visit Britain. She even mentioned Lily meeting her namesake, Queen Elizabeth, and King Charles, along with other royal family members. However, recently, Chris Shipp, a media ally of Meghan and Harry, revealed that Lily never actually met any royals. This news stirred up controversy, but honestly, I'm not surprised. I never quite believed that the Queen met Lily. It's hard to imagine having a strong connection with someone you've never met or only met briefly like Archie. And from what we've learned since then, it was a struggle for Queen Elizabeth to even take a few steps to the balcony during her jubilee. She was in a lot of pain and already quite ill. But now Harry expects us to believe that a child was clinging to her legs and having a great time playing on the floor with her. Harry is being foolish. Honestly, I wouldn't even let my young children hang all over a woman in her 90s. If Harry is going to keep telling lies, he should at least try to make them more believable. It's pretty certain that if Charles never met Lily, then the Queen definitely didn't either. At the very least, it's likely. And on principle, the Queen would have probably insisted that Lily meet her grandfather first before meeting her. She made it clear that Meghan should reconcile with her father. And when Harry complained to her about money, she directed him to go talk to his father. So it's clear that the little girl hasn't met anyone, and Harry's book is filled with so many lies. That's probably why it won't win any awards. I've touched on a similar topic before, and honestly, I don't think the Queen cared that much about her new great grandchildren. I'm not saying she didn't care or love them, but elderly people usually just think, what a beautiful baby be when they first meet their great grandkids. They'll send birthday and Christmas cards, and they're happy to see them when they can. But it's not like they're itching to spend a ton of time with them. I mean, a woman in her 90s has seen her fair share of babies in her lifetime. Getting older can be tiring, and sometimes being around little ones is a bit overwhelming for the elderly. I don't think I've explained it as well as I could have, but that's just how I see it. I'm sure most great grandparents absolutely adore meeting the newest additions to the family, but it's not like they're itching to spend all their time with them. For a first time grandparent, sure, it's different, but for a great great grandparent, it's a bit more relaxed. By 2022, I suspect the late Queen had had enough of Harry and Meghan's drama. I mean, they even took her private nickname. She had numerous talks with them before she stripped away their royal duties and told them they couldn't continue as working royals. So by the summer of 2022, when she wasn't feeling well, she focused what little energy she had left on her responsibilities. Furthermore, the late Queen always made an effort to care for her grandchildren and pay attention to them. We've witnessed her interacting with her great grandchildren, including the Wales and Phillips children, as well as the Tyndalls. She spent quality time with them, genuinely enjoying their company and getting to know them as individuals. One of the sweetest moments was seeing her interact with little Prince Louis on the balcony. She formed close bonds with some great grandchildren because she took the time to know them and be with them. But if Lily did meet her, it was likely only once, and they couldn't have been very close. I'm sure she loved Lily just as she loves her other grandchildren and great grandchildren. It's unfortunate that Lily has a mother who seems to be narcissistic and alienating her from the royal family and the outside world. It's terrible how Meghan won't let her children interact with the royal family. It's such a shame, too. Another thing that makes me believe Lily never met the royals is that when Harry and Meghan landed at Heathrow, there were paparazzi photos, but no baby gear was seen being loaded onto the jet. And when they returned to California, there was still no sign of baby stuff. We saw only one forward-facing child safety seat in the middle row of the lead Tahoe, and a small Razor Tris scooter for what would have been Archie's age. They had a swing they took from Frogmore and some other equipment, but among all these photos, there wasn't a single shot of one-year-old Lily. Even the royal family, including Charles and the late Queen, didn't make any statements suggesting that they were eligible to be in LA. In fact, both Charles and the Queen have shown signs that they doubt the legitimacy of these children in the line of succession. And that's significant. The reason they suddenly deemed it important to christen Lily on Good Friday in a ceremony that no one attended is likely because it was a religious requirement. On the same day, they also announced the Prince and Princess titles. If those children are real and end up living with Harry and Meghan someday, they're likely going to resent them. Karma will catch up to Harry and Meghan, and they may not have a good relationship with their own kids or even their grandchildren if they have any. They might not even be invited to their children's weddings, perhaps just Harry. Karma is real, and having Meghan as a mother seems scary. On the other hand, Charlotte, George, and Louis have cherished memories with their great grandmother and a strong bond with their grandfather. Even Camilla's grandchildren have a genuine relationship with Charles. It's sad to see everything Harry and Meghan have done, and I don't think it's worth it. Eventually, Harry might regret everything he's done since meeting Meghan Markle. And as for Archie, I'm not sure the story is any different. I'm not even sure if anyone has met him. There are only a couple of photos of the royal family with Archie, and they seem really edited. There's the picture of Queen Elizabeth and Doria, and that strange royal christening photo too. But there aren't any photos at the chapel or with anyone else in that picture. You'd think Meghan would have wanted to show off baby Archie with Diana's sister for photo ops, and those pictures would have been everywhere. And what about that odd christening supposedly held in Montecito for Lily? They say Diana's sisters were there, but no, I don't buy it. There would have been plenty of photos with Diana's sisters holding baby Lily, but instead, there's nothing. It's obvious Harry and Meghan are lying once again, trying to deceive everyone. This has to be one of the biggest cons ever pulled on the royal family in modern times. Personally, I'm convinced they're lying about the legitimacy of the children. All King Charles really needs to do is declare that for the kids to be eligible for the line of succession, they must be educated and raised in Great Britain. What saddens me the most for the kids is that Catherine would be such a wonderful aunt, loving, kind, and generous. And William would be such a fun uncle to have too. The photos she could take of all the royal grandchildren together would be stunning. It's truly tragic that the children don't have the influence of the Wales family in their lives. Prince Louis is also such a fun cousin who wouldn't want to play with that little boy. I think it's really wrong to use access to the children as a bargaining chip with the royal family. It's cold and calculating. And of course, the royal family isn't falling for it. Denying the children relationships with their extended family members on both sides is cruel. Playing games with their children has led the royal family and the public to just shrug their shoulders and say, okay, you don't want us to see your kids. Fine, then you know what though? Good luck to Meghan Markle trying to make money off those children when they've kept them hidden away. Clearly, Meghan is the one refusing visitation. It's similar to what she did to the late Queen Elizabeth. She's controlling and frankly seems unstable. Despite being a mother, she uses her children as pawns. She's unfit to be a parent. It's sad that these children are being denied the chance to bond with their grandparents. Meghan seems ungrateful for everything she has. Now, as a grandparent and a parent myself, a big part of the joy of being a grandmother is seeing my children take on the role of parents. But considering how Harry has behaved, I doubt King Charles is thrilled to see him as a father. Perhaps Harry is seeking validation from King Charles. I also suspect there's a significant reason why nobody in the royal family mentions those children, and I don't think surrogacy is the main issue. There might be a specific problem, perhaps with Archie, which is why we hardly see him in the media, just these blurry, distant photos. Why keep them hidden? Using Harry's fear of the press as an excuse doesn't cut it. There's something about Archie that doesn't add up. Something is being concealed. As for Lily, I wonder if either she doesn't exist or perhaps Harry and Meghan never fully completed the adoption process from her surrogate mother. Does anyone really believe Meghan would be willing to let those kids go to a country she can't control? I doubt it. Maybe she'll share some odd photos of her children visiting graves, but I'm guessing those won't be worth much. The children's existence is shrouded in mystery, with fewer than 10 photos between them. That's probably why the family, and especially the media, aren't sharing much about them. It doesn't reflect poorly on the family or the media. It reflects poorly on Meghan and Harry because it's clear they're still fixated on trashing and playing games with both. All right, let's delve into another intriguing story about the royal family's clash with Meghan Markle. As we know, King Charles invited Meghan to bring the kids to the UK this summer. This indicates that he likely hasn't met Lily or Archie. Bringing them to meet the king and the royal family was necessary as they're in the line of succession, but Meghan responded controversially. She demanded an apology from the royal family before agreeing to visit. Can you believe someone would throw away such an opportunity like Meghan did? It's hard to fathom someone being that foolish, but then we look at Meghan and it's clear she's a narcissist. Recently, King Charles suggested Harry and Meghan return to the UK next month with the kids, a chance to rebuild trust. But Meghan, being a narcissist, won't humble herself. She even insisted that King Charles apologize to her before considering a return to England. She knows she won't get the apology, yet she's adamant she won't return to Britain or bring the children unless she does. She sees this as a win-win. She avoids taking the kids there, which she sees as a problem solved. And she expects sympathy for being denied an apology from the royal family. Even if they apologize, it wouldn't end well because she'd feel vindicated as the ultimate victim. If she managed to convince the public of her victimhood while succeeding in life, it would be her twisted version of success. The media would lap it up, giving her the attention she craves. Even the simple act of the king asking her to come to the UK becomes fodder for her to stir up chaos in the media. Doesn't she tire of playing these games? She'll never get an apology, and she knows it. So, what's the point of leaking this information? Perhaps Meghan requested an apology to justify her leaving the UK if the Queen were to kick her out, but then wouldn't the Queen need to be involved in the apology too? None of the current royal family members are likely to apologize to Meghan, and the late Queen wouldn't have either. It's pointless. We all know this demand for an apology is just an excuse to keep Meghan away. Even Harry probably doesn't understand what the apology is for, which is why he used the vague phrase, they know what they have done. Harry couldn't even recall the issue. Sometimes I still feel a bit sorry for Harry because he married Meghan Markle. Everything she does is very calculated. She knew what she was doing, she manipulated him. Meghan would see asking for an apology as a win-win situation for her because she only cares about herself. She's dangerous. Eventually, narcissists realize their games aren't working, so they switch strategies. The royal family won't apologize, so she'll claim victimhood, saying they hurt her. It's ridiculous. The public will never trust her again. She needs to come up with some new excuses soon, or nobody will be interested in her anymore. Honestly, nobody's interested in her anyway. Paid fans can only stick around for so long, and that won't bother the royal family. Meghan Markle may be unhinged, but she's not really affecting the royals. She'll never admit that the royal family kicked her out, and they don't care about her. They know they're dealing with someone unstable. Meghan also won't admit she's afraid of being booed by the public. So instead, she'll blame the royal family for not caring about her for misleading her. But anyway, enough about apologies. It's getting boring. Let's talk a bit about the past, about when Harry and Meghan left England and the royal family. It's been 4 years. Meghan had meetings even before marrying Harry, planning to return to Hollywood after her brief 72 days as a working royal. Meghan and Harry are now supposedly stronger than ever since they stepped away from their royal roles. Their biggest supporter, Omid Scobie, claimed that Harry and Meghan are flourishing since stepping back from their royal duties and moving to the US. Scobie mentioned they appear to be in a much healthier place, living in a different environment. Meghan famously talked about moving beyond mere survival now. They're in the Thrive chapter. The language might be somewhat vague, but Thrive chapter does have a nice ring to it. Supposedly, Harry is no longer confined by the mindset of other working royals. Instead, he has found a supportive partner in Meghan Markle, someone who advocates for his rights, which has empowered him, according to the source. But that's not all. Meghan Markle is distancing herself from the drama within the royal family. According to reports in an interview with People magazine, Omid Scobie elaborated on Meghan Markle's efforts to move past conflicts while Harry still has unresolved issues with his family. Scobie stated that Meghan is moving forward, whereas Harry still has some loose ends to address. So it seems Meghan is simply supporting her husband and isn't bothered by the drama. She's moved on. But I don't buy it. What's she demanding an apology for anyway? Should they apologize for the lavish PS30 million wedding? Or perhaps for the hug Catherine didn't want? Maybe it's for all the staff Meghan allegedly scared away. It's ridiculous. Meghan has no grounds to demand an apology from the royal family. If anything, she should be the one apologizing. It's a deceitful game she's playing. She's a liar prone to exaggeration. She enjoys weaving such a tangled web of deceit that she can't even keep track of her lies. I suspect she doesn't want to face the consequences of her actions by going back. So she's demanding something she knows she'll never receive, providing the perfect excuse to remain in California. The truth is, she owes numerous apologies. She truly is a deceitful individual. The royal family bestowed numerous privileges and opportunities upon Meghan and Harry. However, the more they spoke out and pursued legal action, the more reports emerged, revealing the efforts made by the royal family to assist them. Yet, their actions made them appear more like spoiled children than adults facing genuine challenges. Consequently, their reputations suffered, a consequence of their own behavior. the royal family was excessively lenient with them. Now, let's discuss the children. If Meghan doesn't have custody of the unseen children, she naturally can't take them with her. To divert attention from speculation, she tries to deceive the media by claiming she refuses to take them without a public apology from the king. Additionally, she spreads stories about potential racial attacks on her children in Britain. The real issue might be that Meghan can't take the children with her when she travels, whether to visit Britain or any of her friends in the US. Meghan is always seen traveling alone or with Harry, and if she does take the kids, we only see blurry photos of them. The idea that Meghan is concerned about the children's safety in the UK is nonsense. She's likely unwilling to risk someone obtaining the children's DNA from a hair strand or a used cup, as it could provide evidence that the children don't belong in the line of succession. I believe this is Meghan's primary motive. By refusing to go to Britain and demanding an apology from the royals, she hopes to cover up the fact that the children may not be real or weren't born from her body. Meghan likely thinks that if she never returns to Britain, the truth about the invisible children will never come to light. However, she should apologize for all the lies she's told. Perhaps if she did, it might evoke some sympathy from the royal family. Attacking them and demanding empty apologies certainly isn't helping her cause. All right, friends, I hope the information I just shared is useful to you, and I would love to hear your opinions because they are valuable. They enrich our discussions and
And
help
don't
us
be
see
afraid to click
topics
the
from
subscribe
different
button to
angles.
get more
Thank you
updates
so
in the
much for
future.
watching.
Thank you so
Goodbye
much
for
for
now,
tuning
and I'll
in.
be
Have a
back with
lovely
new
weekend,
videos on
and
the
we'll be
King
back to
YouTube
see
channel.
you all tomorrow.